Hey guys, what's up? It's Z27 here, and today I'm back with another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video. So let's get right into the story. The goal for today's video is 10 likes, guys. Let's smash it, and let's get into the story. So today's story is a little bit different, alright? So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in a few of my videos, actually most of them, the GTA ones, I'm wearing a Finding Bigfoot t-shirt, alright? And that's because, all my life, I've pretty much been, Bigfoot nerd, I guess you could call him. Of course, I believe Bigfoot's real. And I'm just gonna tell you, a little bit of a story about, whenever I was younger. So when you're younger, I was probably 10, 11. You kind of, your mind kind of tricks you into thinking things that aren't real. And, you keep believing that. Well, I've believed that, Bigfoot was real, all my life. And, whenever I was, 10 and 11, I'd always watch, those Bigfoot shows. And, I was just, so into everything Bigfoot. And I was in 5th grade, alright? And we had to give these, speeches or presentations about whatever topic we wanted to. We just had to cover, a few basic guidelines. And we all had to give, a presentation that had to be at least 5 minutes long. And there was no, max time limit to them. But usually people's were from, 10 to 15 minutes. Well, everybody had gone through their presentation, alright? Everybody, the entire grade. And I was the last one to go. And I had to bring in my computer because something was, wrong with, I couldn't get it on the school computer, so I had to bring in my computer. Well, my presentation topic was on Bigfoot, alright? 5th grader, presentation was on Bigfoot. In my presentation, instead of going 10 to 15 minutes long, lasted an hour. I gave an hour-long presentation on Bigfoot. And now thinking back to it, I kind of feel bad for the kids that, had no interest in my topic at all because they had to sit there for an hour and listen to me ramble on about how Bigfoot's real. But I did give a really good presentation, and yeah. But that's not the main part of the story. The main part of the story is the one time I thought I found Bigfoot. So there's this one website where you can find all these Bigfoot sightings, and I went on there one day whenever I was 10 or 11, and I looked up my house and my area, and there were a few in my area, but there was one in particular that would have taken place right in the woods that are behind my house. And the report was in 1970, and the literally on the map it was right behind my house, in the woods. And the story was these two guys, there's a big pipeline that runs through my woods and stuff, and it made total sense after reading it. So these two guys were sitting up on the hill eating, they said they were just chilling out eating chips on on the pipe, and they looked down the hill and they saw this tree shaking aggressively, and they saw an 8-foot hairy creature just shaking it, and they at that point they got up and started running to the house, and it kind of, the one guy said it looked at them and started walking towards them. And then once they got into the house, they kind of just were so freaked out that they cried in the corner or something. They didn't even watch it. And that gave me so much motivation as an 11-year-old to find him in my woods. He would still be living there. Well, one day, me and my friend were down in the woods, alright? And if you ever watched a Bigfoot show, they always do the howls and the calls. So we were standing in the yard first, and we did a howl, or whatever you call them, a Bigfoot call. And of course, we didn't hear anything back. So we're alright, that's not working. Let's go look around for a little. So we kind of looked around, and as an 11-year-old, kind of paranoid that Bigfoot was gonna jump out of a bush and just start mauling you. But at that time, I thought he would just kind of be my friend, and we would ride unicorns into the sunset or something. So I wasn't really afraid, but I was kind of terrified at the same time. Then we didn't see anything, and then we kind of left out of the woods. We kind of went inside, and then we came back 20 minutes later, and there was another method where they would knock on trees, they'd get big sticks and knock them against trees, and depending on the number of hits there were, it was the number of how many there were or something. So we took a big stick, we started knocking against this tree, and we did it 3 times, and then we waited, and we actually heard 2 knocks come back, but I don't think they were actually knocks. I think it was somebody hammering something in. But of course, to us it was oh my gosh, those are 2 knocks, they're talking to us. So we start knocking again, and we hear more knocks coming back. And looking back on it, it was somebody hammering, because they were working on something on the other side of the woods. But of course, that made us so motivated to go look in there. So we looked all around, and like we kind of walked around, but we didn't go too deep because we actually thought there was like a Bigfoot in the woods. And we kind of just stood at the yards and looked into the woods. And I thought for sure I saw this, like, I thought for sure I saw Bigfoot. I looked and I saw like this tall creature, and like it was like all black and stuff, and I thought I saw it move, but really it was like two trees just like angled against each other, and like there was a bush in between them, and the wind blew and it kind of like moved. So I saw that and I started screaming, and me and my other friends started screaming. We just ran to the house and just never went back there again because I thought Bigfoot was in my woods. And yeah, kind of a dumb story, I know. But, I think there is something out there that is Bigfoot, but I don't think he was in my woods that day. And I just thought that was a funny story to tell you guys about my Bigfoot experience. In future videos, look at my shirt to see if I'm wearing a Bigfoot shirt. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a good time making it. I hope you had a good time watching it. I'll see you in the next video. As always, leave a like, subscribe, and comment on next. I'll see you in the next episode, and goodbye. And I get caught, obviously. And the thing that they didn't know